everybody. This is a practice quiz for the clauses and phrases test that will be on Monday, December 22nd. And yes, it is formatted very similarly, wow, I can't talk, to the actual test on Monday, but just with different sentences. But let me tell you, it is super close. Hopefully you have already done the worksheet so that when we go over the answers, you already have an idea of what the answer should be, and you're simply double checking your work. Please feel free to email me about any of this as you go through it if you are having trouble. So in the beginning, we're looking for different types of phrases. There are 4 types of phrases, as you know. So let's get started. I do give you the number, and I'll do that on the test too, of phrases that you should identify. So our math teacher this is a noun, renaming the noun next to it. The math teacher is Mrs. Nettles. Mrs. Nettles is the math teacher. Therefore, you have an appositive, B. About Charlie Brown is a prepositional phrase, so we're also going to put an A. Looking through the window. Looking through the window begins with an ing verb, looking, and it doesn't replace Mr. Core, but it gives you more information about Mr. Core. Therefore, it is a participle phrase, D. And in the neighbor's yard is a prepositional phrase, so D and A. Should have been reading, should, helping verb, have, helping verb, been, helping verb, reading, action verb, all makes up one big verb phrase, C. For is a preposition in number 3, so for what? For no reason. Across is a preposition, across what? Across the crowded room. Therefore, we have 2 prepositional phrases, A and A. Looking across the room, it's a phrase that begins with an ing verb. The whole phrase, looking across the room, is giving us more information about what Mr. Demar is doing, but looking is not the main verb in the sentence. The main verb is noticed. Therefore, this is a participle phrase, D. Of cookies is a prepositional phrase, A. And in the corner is a prepositional phrase, another A. Is succeeding, helping verb, action verb. So we do have a verb phrase, C, and with our goals is a prepositional phrase, A. A goldfish named Bait is renaming, it's a noun, goldfish, renaming the class pet. The class pet is this goldfish named Bait, and the goldfish named Bait is the class pet. They're renaming each other, so we have an appositive phrase. My favorite class is a noun renaming language arts, and language arts is renaming my favorite class, so again we have an appositive phrase. Push to her limit. We have a phrase here that begins with an ed verb, and it's giving more information about my mom. It's not replacing her, but it's giving more information about her. Therefore, it is a participle phrase. To her limit is a prepositional phrase in the participle phrase, and from my room is also a prepositional phrase. For this section, you're just simply going to look at the bold-faced clause and determine whether it is an independent clause or a dependent clause. So let's look at this one right here. Verb was returned to 1866. This phrase right here does not begin with a subordinating conjunction. Don't let and confuse you. And is something called a coordinating conjunction. Coordinating conjunctions' job is to join two independent clauses. So that is not a subordinating conjunction. So therefore, we don't have a dependent clause. Also, verb was returned to 1866 is a complete thought. Well, independent clauses are complete thoughts. So this is definitely an independent clause. Because he flew through time so quickly, begins with a subordinating conjunction, and that is not a complete thought. Because he flew through time so quickly, therefore we have a dependent clause, so we'll put D on the line. So that he could bring verb back to 2014 begins with the subordinating conjunction, so that, plus it's an incomplete thought, it's not a complete sentence, therefore we have another dependent clause. In the last section, you simply need to underline the independent clause 1 time and the dependent clause 2 times, and circle the subordinating conjunction. The oak tree is a symbol of strength and power because, there's your clue, it is tall and majestic. Because is a subordinating conjunction, so it is starting off this dependent clause. Keep in mind, dependent clauses still have subjects, it, and verbs. We have the linking verb is. The oak tree is a symbol of strength and power. That's a complete sentence, a complete thought. It also does not begin with a subordinating conjunction, so it is an independent clause. It too still has a subject and a verb, a linking verb. And then for the last one, we'll use a different color here. Although many voyagers searched for a southern continent, Antarctica wasn't discovered until 1820. The key word is although. It is a subordinating conjunction, which means it is starting off this dependent clause. This is an incomplete sentence. Although many voyagers searched for a southern continent, it's incomplete. It has a subject, it has a verb, but it's incomplete. Antarctica wasn't discovered until 1820. That's a complete sentence, and it doesn't start with a subordinating conjunction, so it is an independent clause. Hopefully this helps. If it doesn't help, you're welcome to come see me before Monday. Also, you can email me with any questions. But I would definitely use this to help you study for your test Monday because, again, it is going to be very similar. Good luck.